Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be. I am your humble host, David Null, also known as Hawkeye Two Feathers, and I greet you with the love and the honor of the infinite creator. And I continue to pray that each and every one of you will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings from the universe. So, with that said, um, first, I would like to apologize for this taking so long to get to chapter two. Okay. Barry, Elderberry, Miss Susie Q, how are you all and blessings? And Davina, how are you? Ramananth, not making fun. Ramananth, as in ramen. Anyway, good morning, everyone. Chloe, howdy, howdy, howdy. So my many apologies for this taking so long to get to chapter two. I have been sidetracked with other subjects and things and stuff. And sometimes, good, Davina, good. Um, that my brain just wasn't here. Like my, my scouts up yonder will give me a topic, and I'm like, but wasn't I supposed to do something else? And they're like, here's your topic, guts and glory and gumption, what? But actually, last night, this morning, I guess it was yesterday morning now, but um, there seemed to be more information in there, even for myself, that it was like, wow, there really is a bigger picture on some of this for just three words. Hey, Miss Pearl, how are you? So for myself, I have talked about medicine wheel, and I'm gonna skim over chapter one and give an overview kind of thing. Um, and I may have to like take a break for a minute, like to go find something to write on in a pen or something, because I'm very ill prepared. As y'all know, I just do things at the spur of the moment. So here I am doing a spur of the moment. Spur of the moment is the tui. Spit it out, Dave. To do chapter two, because I have chatted with some other folks, and Elderberry is one, but some other people too, and they're like, "When are you going to do chapter two?" And I'm like, crap. I didn't know if anybody was like really interested or not. And then I found out later on, like, yeah, come on, what you doing? Why aren't you doing chapter two? My bad. But to the point, there's been other things on my mind and other things to do. And here I am. So I will show the book. And anybody who gets in here late, um, if they ask a question or something, I'll be glad to back up a little bit. But um, for anyone who gets in the middle of this, you're just going to have to start over. My apologies ahead of time. So, because this is sort of an instructional thing. So, you know, chatting about it. But then for the folks who were here at the beginning, for those who might come in later, my apologies. But you'll have to go back to the beginning. Um, so I'm not repeating things for the folks who were here for the beginning of the class. Anyway, that's enough of that. All right. So, um, the medicine wheel is very basically rocks placed on the ground in an area where hopefully they won't be disturbed. You'll be able to put them down and leave them there, because the medicine wheel is to connect with Mother Earth and to the different spirits, to the universe, to Great Spirit, and and Mother Earth, and make things all nice and harmonious, and make it a sacred place to go and pray if you need to walk the wheel, as you'll find out. So I would say this: it's not necessarily for the lighthearted. All right, if you're gonna do a medicine wheel, then at least be 75% into it. If you're just like, well, this will be cool, I'll put a couple rocks on the ground and see what it's like. You know, if you're going to do it half-heartedly, I would ask respectively for Mother Earth and other medicine wheels that maybe you should decline. If you want to build a small one to like learn and test and stuff, okie doke. But if you're going to go into this half-hearted, please don't. You know, now sometimes you have to go into things half-heartedly to find out whether or not you really want to do it. I get it. All right. So if your intention is, I want to learn, so I'm going to try this, and my intention to learn is sincere. So maybe doing the wheel itself, you don't really know because you haven't tried it. You're not, you're learning. So if you're doing modeling clay and somebody says, well, I'm going to be a great sculptor. Okay. But unless you get clay in your hands and you mold it and you do it and you practice a little bit, so you don't know. So with dancing with the wheel, if your intention is sincere to learn, that's a lot. You don't know whether or not you're going to keep the wheel or dance with it or whatever, but you want to learn. You want to learn about the mechanics of it, and so that's enough. All right. But if you go, I don't know if I want to keep it. I don't know if this is for me. Don't go there. All right. Those things may be true, but at least begin with the wheel in that your sincerity to learn is there. And keep that as your focus point, okay? Because when you place the rocks on the ground, you should do so with positive intent. So if you're just screwing around with this, that's kind of what you're going to get out of it. It's dishonorable to the sacred wheel itself as to not be at least serious about learning. You know what I mean? So anyway, moving on. But that I can't stress that enough. It is so intent is so important all the way through the dancing with the wheel. If you're just, going, oh, that's cool, looks neat on the ground, but you don't go and pray the wheel or go to it or use it or whatever, then thank no offense, but thank you for doing it, but you're not really utilizing it. So that's sort of half-hearted. But anyway, so um, this is the book that I'm using, and it's called Dancing with the Wheel, a Sun Bear book. And folks have bought this online. If you're really, really serious, then you would probably need to get this book. I would suggest it. But the introduction to other people and so forth, and discussing this, building it's one thing, but discussing the many ceremonies and directions and what that means, reading a book is one thing, but then having a discussion like I'm going to try to provide with this. So I'm going to read this little introduction at the beginning of chapter 1 to um, bring us into chapter 2. The dance begins. To enjoy dancing with the wheel, you must first learn the steps to the dance. Like most earth-based ceremonies and tools, the medicine wheel appears to be simple. After all, it is merely a structure of 36 stones. Now, we've talked about this in the previous. You can build medicine wheels that don't have 36 stones. There are many other configurations with fewer. So keep that in mind. Yes, there are untold levels of measuring to this simple circle and the lines within the circle. Dancing with the wheel is a step-by-step guide to these levels. To understand the medicine wheel dance, you must first know that the medicine wheel of the vision is similar to the 20,000 medicine wheels that existed on this continent before the Europeans came. These medicine wheels served many purposes for native people of the Americas. They were the ceremonial centers of culture, astronomical laboratories, and places people would come to mark the times and changes in their own lives, as well as the life on earth. So medicine wheels were, personal things, but they also linked with the rest of them, okay? There were places to pray, meditate, contemplate, strengthen your connection with nature, and come to a higher degree of understanding of yourself and of your relationship with all of creation. Medicine wheels were usually placed on areas where the energy of the earth could be strongly felt. And their use in ceremony made this energy get even stronger. Consequently, medicine wheel areas became what people now call vortexes, places of intense earth energies and healings. The new areas where medicine wheels have been built are serving the same function. Now, this book was written many years ago, okay? So, forms of the medicine wheel exist all around the globe, from the great stone circles of Europe to the mandalas of India. So, in a way, Stonehenge, medicine wheel. And there are a lot of stone circles in England, Ireland, and that Muti or that black gentleman, the prophet down in South Africa, and all the circles and things down there. So stone circles have are all around, okay, and not just by Native Americans. So all of these circles are reminders of our past when the world was guided by the law of right relationships. Interesting. And that humans respected themselves and all of their relations, mineral, plant, animal, spirit, on Mother Earth. Learning about the medicine wheel can help you remember your connection with all of these aspects of the universe. Each stone in the medicine wheel is a tool to help you to understand your ties with the ancient past that molds both personal and planetary present and future. Each position in the medicine wheel will directly affect you at some point in your life. So some of these stones are named and so forth. And for example, the number one stone. Now, let's see if this shows up. All right, so you get the basic cross in the middle. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, the four cardinal points, and then there are stones in the middle. Well, the middle stone is called the Creator Stone. All right, then there are four stones around. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 6 stones um, around the Creator Stone. There's 1, 2, this little group right there, and then these stones all have a purpose, you know. So, but anyway, but there's your basic configuration. So, the Creator Stone. I got to use my other glasses. This is still very important to move into chapter 2, okay? The Creator Stone or symbol is the center of the medicine wheel, as the Creator is the center of all life, all right? Always creating without beginning or ending, and always moving, always continuing. From this center radiates the energy that creates all the rest of the wheel. So this center the center stone, the creator stone. So the energies go out in all directions, starting with it. The seven stones that surround the creator stone form the center circle of the wheel and represent the foundation of all life. Slightly to the south of east of is the stone that represents the earth mother, the being who gives us our home and our lives. Now they said being. Mother Earth is alive. It's a being. It's not a thing. It's a who. So continuing in a sunwise or clockwise direction, as we almost always do in building and using the medicine wheel. So here's a very key thing. So when you're building the medicine wheel, you should go clockwise. Okay. Um, and there's a stone honoring Father Sun, who warms and quickens life. Next comes a stone for Grandmother Moon, who guides our dreams and visions, followed by the Turtle Clan stone. Now, interesting, I pulled the turtle card tonight, with on Robert's show with the legends and so forth. And here's, so there's a stone for the Turtle Clan. I say, representing the element of earth, the Frog Clan, representing the element of water, the Thunderbird Clan, representing the element of fire, and the Butterfly Clan, representing the element of air. These seven stones teach about the basic building blocks of all life. So for to get more into the medicine wheel, so these things that you can study about the turtle clan, you can study about the frog clan, and so understanding each one of these clans and what the earth, fire, water, what these represent will help you to understand the mechanics of the medicine wheel. All right. So yeah, they're stones and they represent this. But if you're putting down a stone that's the Turtle Clan, shouldn't you at least type in Turtle Clan and do a little bit of research so you understand what the clan means, what they represent, so that your intent is intensified. Because why is it intensified? Because you're learning about it. If you just say, well, this stone represents the Turtle Clan. Well, what's the Turtle Clan mean? I don't know. But it represents Turtle Clan and it's earth and water and stuff. I don't know. But when you learn about it and you know more about when you place a stone or what it represents, it has much more meaning. It has much more power to it. I hate using that word, but it does. There's more power to it. So let's see. So these seven stones are Father Sun, Grandmother Moon, the Turtle Clan, the Frog Clan, the Thunderbird Clan, and the Butterfly Clan. So these are the seven stones that represent the basic building blocks of nature. The anchor stones for the outer circle of the medicine wheel are the four stones honoring the spirit keepers. Okay, so what they mean by this is north, south, east, and west. Now I might have that backwards because I'm backward anyway. But to the four cardinal points. So the what they're discussing are these four stones. All right. Wait, come back. The anchor stones are the four stones honoring the spirit keepers. All right. Wabus in the north, Waban in the east, Shanodis in the south, and Mojakiwis in the west. These spirit keeper stones divide the circle into quadrants, like a big piece of pie, right? That set the boundaries for the 12 moonstones in the outer circle. Now, we'll get to some of these later, but these stones represent the moons that divide the year. From them, we learn about each season, each time of day, and time of life, and each mineral, plant, animal, elemental clan, spirit keeper, and human associated with that moon. So there are normally 13 moons, I think, in a year. But, completing the medicine wheel are 4 spirit paths, each consisting of 3 stones. Now, those 3 stones are the ones in between the anchor stones, okay? So there's 3, 6, 9, 12 of them, all right? So these paths go from the spirit keeper stones toward the center circle. They represent qualities that take us from daily life into the sacred space of the Creator. That simple physical description of the medicine wheel provides you with the first basic steps for dancing with the wheel. But to really understand the wheel, your comprehension must surpass the physical and the intellectual. You can never dance well if you're always thinking about where to place your feet, your body, and your being. That takes time and practice. When you are ready to begin, use the following simple technique, the first of many that will help you dance with the wheel. Throughout the book, these techniques are called visualizations or exercises. These provide ways for you to mentally see, feel, and imagine yourself and your life as something different from what it is now. All visualization exercises, if treated with respect, can be done as ceremonies that are ways for you to connect your energy with the energy of the universe and to thank the universe and all of its parts for the gift of life. Now, see, there is part of me that's kind of sort of the end of chapter 1, and there are some lessons and things. But hey, Jules, anybody did I miss? Jules, how are you? How come the bottom row of stones only consists of 3 and not 4 like all the others? It's how you look at it. If you're counting 4 when there's actually only 3 in between each of the 4 cardinal point stones, Chloe. It looks like more, but it's actually only 3. You don't count the anchor stone, all right? But anyway, so there are folks who, when I said earlier, when I began this, I said, you really got to go into this seriously. If you're just going to put a bunch of rocks on the ground, it's just not the same, okay? So because these stones are representing universal things, turtle clan, frog clan, thunderbird, which is earth, fire, air, and water, right? So um, you're honoring the elements of the universe, of Mother Earth, and of the 4 directions, So it's all about honor, but you know, it's sincerity. Now, let me go back to this. And this other part, I'm going to repeat it again. You can never dance well if you're always thinking about where to place your feet. So the mechanics of the wheel is important, like where you place the stones, what those stones represent, okay? And so when you dance the wheel, you will go to different stones or say prayers or ceremonies. Like if you want to, to learn about the Turtle Clan, you find the Turtle Clan stone. And when you enter the circle, then your meditation or whatever is on the Turtle Clan and on that stone that you've represented in your medicine wheel. Okay. So, you want to learn about Thunderbird, then you would go to the stone that represents the Thunderbird and you would meditate on that and its place in the wheel, etc. Okay, because most Native American wheels medicine wheels are set up this way. Now, others have cardinal points in a center, and they may vary from other parts of the planet as to what they actually mean. But there are similarities in all of it, okay? It's in the circle, it's the circle of life, it's energy, it's, the planet's round, not flat, stuff like that. It's the circle of life. So, here is an exercise at the end of chapter 1, hearing the earth's song. Now, in talking with some folks, and I have discussed this, that, how you choose the stones. So, if you know that there are this configuration of stones and where they're located, right, then you should go look for a creator stone. You should look for a stone that's going to be the north or the south or the east or the west. So your intention in asking the stone or looking for one is, I need a creator stone. So allow the universe to take you to that stone, right? Because then that means you're opening up to the universe. Now, there are people who just don't have that quality. But I've asked folks and they say, well, why'd you put that there? And they go, well, it just felt right. Guess what? You're paying attention. Well, why did you put that rock over there? I don't know. It just felt right. Whether you're realizing it or not, that's how it works. You don't think about it. Well, I would really like to have that rock as well. There might be a rock that's really cute, pretty, or has a interesting facet to it, but it may not be the rock. I'm like, well, I really like this rock, but it ain't gonna fit in the wheel. It just don't fit. It doesn't feel right. Even though I love this rock to death, it just not going in the wheel. That's all. And you have to accept it. Not, well, I want this one to be it. Why? Well, just because I like the rock and I want it to be the center. Okay. But later on, you might go, as you're choosing rocks and placing them, you might look at that center rock and go, I don't think it really fits. And something else, or you'll see another rock or something, and you go, you know what? And you just pick one up and replace it and go, that's the one that's supposed to be there. Okay. So as you develop your own sense of self to accept this rock wants to go over there versus you wanting the rock to go over there, or I really like this is, it's your, no, ask the universe, is this the rock I need? Not I want this rock to be. Nah, it doesn't work that way. You ask the rock, you ask the universe, you ask the spirits, is this a good rock for the Thunderbird clan? Okay, at least temporarily. At least, as things get together, there are energies between the rocks. And you might pick up this rock and you placed it originally in the west, and there might be another rock in the east, and you just have to swap them. And you'll go, I don't really know why, but that feels better. Because once you get the rocks arranged, hey, Amanda, how are you? Blessings to you. So as you get the rocks arranged, there are harmonies and things and stuff. You might move a rock or two. You might literally flip them all over and mirror it, because what you put in the west, you realize for some internal something, they actually belong in the east. Don't fret about it. Move them, you know, because you want it to harmonize with the planet. You want it to harmonize with wherever you're setting up the wheel. So, and sometimes when you're starting into this thing, because this particular wheel has 36 stones, so that's a lot of harmonizing between these little buggers, right? And so don't fret about it, but you have to go into it. Well, we hope you're doing well, Amanda. Honestly, we hope you're doing well. So, but anyway, so I harped on this when I did chapter 1. I'm harping on it now because if if you're not even trying, then I don't want to say it's going to be a waste of time, but so hearing the earth song. Now, these are different little um, exercises to help you get in touch with Mother Earth or with the stones or whatever. Um, it's 12:47. You know, I didn't take a 20 break. So now that I got y'all here and so what you need is a quiet place and if desired, a notebook and a pen or a tape if you want to record it. And sometimes it is nice to, I've got several of these types of books, pages in here. They're composition books. They're like a buck a piece or something. And I've got several of them over the years that I have written and put notes in. And so um, it comes in handy because I've gone back over one particular book that I have notes in for ceremonies and things. And I opened it up and I was like, oh, I forgot about this. And it's really helpful to write things down, especially as you get older and sometimes you're missing and you forget stuff. So anyway, estimated time for this little exercise is 10 minutes. 5 if you've been doing this a few times. So you sit comfortably on chair, floor, lie down, something. Take a few deep breaths and get yourself relaxed. Allow your breath to go through as much of your body as it can. I mean, just when you're breathing in, you're thinking it's enveloping your body. You visualize the air and the breath and so forth. You close your eyes and relax, and you relax your jaw and your stomach. Now, for me, I can relax my jaw and my stomach, but because I've had so much issues with my neck, I find that I I can relax the rest of my body, but my neck will start hurting like hell. It's been hurting the whole time, but because all these other things and other bodily functions, when I relax the rest of the body, my neck stands out as, oh my God, it's really hurting. It's really sore, but it's always sore. So I can relax other parts, but I really got to concentrate to get my neck muscles and my shoulder muscles to relax. Okay. So, um, but so the biggest thing is you're just trying to relax, period. Be aware that the earth is beneath you, even if you're on the 50th floor. Feel your energy connecting with the energy of the earth. When you are relaxed and feel connected, just listen. Now, that don't mean to the buses on the street or the kids playing in the neighbor's yard. That ain't what it means. Do you hear something faintly at first, then louder? You will hear a beat that sounds like a drum. Now, years ago, now I had to go to a powwow and feel the drum, feel the dance, feel the earth. And so that when I got to this point, when I got this book, I knew what the sound of the drum was because I'd been to a couple of powwows. But then, as I had talked to elders, they said, if you sit quietly, no matter where you are, what you're doing, just sit quietly, relax yourself, and listen for the drum. And there are times when I don't even have to relax. I can hear the drum now. There are times when I can actually feel the drum through my feet, through the ground, I have a concrete floor which sits right on the ground. So it comes right up through the floor. I can feel that drum. I mean, there are times in the middle of the night where I've been woke up hearing the drum. It's gotten that loud. So that's Earth's song. But so if you can't go to a powwow, at least listen to some native drum music on the internet. And close your eyes and listen to the drum and the hey ah hey ah hey ah hey ah hey ah hey ah bum dum 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 dum, and let it sink in because that's what you're going to listen for. And it's, trust me, It's there. I thought it was a joke at first 20 years ago. Oh no, it's that sound is there. What is it? Listen closer. Tum 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 tum. The drum beat you hear first is the beat of your own heart. Maybe I didn't pay attention to my heart because I just I had done other breathing exercises and stuff, so I didn't hear my heart beating as the first one. I literally heard the drum. So, but for those folks who have need to I have gone through different phases before I ever got this book, so I was already ahead of the curve in certain ways. You feel your heart beat slow to this new music, and you feel yourself deeply relaxed, connected to the source of this music, which is Earth Mother, the drum. Enjoy the music, enjoy the moments. When you're ready, come back to your normal reality. Take a moment to feel any differences in your bodies. If you wish, write down any changes or reactions or whatever. I was just so freaked out that I could actually hear it. I was like, oh man, good, Isby. But if you want to, if you have got some Native American music, um, you can get some that's got singing or whatever. But if you want to focus on as this exercise, if you want to focus on the drum, then find something that doesn't have as much singing or whatever or chanting, if you can, because then it's easier to hear the drum. So anyway, so in this chapter one, there's all kinds of references to to the stones, to what they represent, what animals and so forth. And I'm gonna do a quick shot of this, see how much I can actually get on camera. Uh-oh, not much. Okay. Is it like having trouble focusing? Oh, it ain't gonna work. All right. So anyway, the stones all have numbers up to 36. And for example, the name of the stone is the creator stone. Now it goes across in a chart, so it's element. It can be any mineral, meaning the stone can be any. The plant can be any. The circle, animal or color. The number two stone is Earth Mother. The element is earth. The mineral is clay. The center is corn, beans, or squash. The animal that relates to it is tortoise, and the color would be forest green. So for each one of these stones, there are these things that are related. So in the north, there are three stones that from the the keeper stone. So it's from December 22nd to January 19th. And the name of the moon is Earth Renewal. The mineral is quartz. The plant is birch. And the totems are the snow geese. Color is white. The spirit keeper is Waboose. The complement is flicker. And the elemental clan is turtle. So for each one of these stones, there is a time, like January to February, February to March. The second one is rest and cleansing. The big winds moon. The mineral is turquoise. The plant is plantain. The animal is cougar. The color is turquoise. And the spirit keeper is waboose with the complement of brown bear. And the elemental clan is frog. So every one of these stones has an animal, a vegetable, the spirit, it has a color represented to it, and animals that are there for it. So hearing the Earth song can give you a whole new understanding of the medicine wheel, because When you become aware of this music in the universe, you begin to understand the law of relationship. Now, this is really important. Each of each of us is deeply connected to everything that exists. Each of us is a critical part of the sacred medicine wheel of life. And for those folks that go, man, I don't care, I don't really belong, that, but you are anyway, you know. So the law of relationship is a natural law, a real law that is absolutely critical to these times when we have lost our sense of balance, our sense of connectedness with all that is life. And many people have just lost it, literally. The medicine wheel can help you to regain some of what you may have lost. The medicine wheel will help you to understand your real relationship with all of the beings on the earth, the elements, the plants, the animals, the humans, the spirits. These beings can teach you about many other layers of the wheel, which means many other layers of existence, of the universe, of dimensions. In the Medicine Wheel book, we introduce you to the mineral, plant, and animal totems for the 12 stones representing the times of the year. In Dancing with the Wheel, we introduce you to the totems for all the positions of the wheel and tell you what each totem has to teach you about life and about relationship. So, as you learn the steps of this dance and hear the music more clearly yourself, you may desire ways to honor your new relationship with life. The respect for the correct use of ceremony, you will find them. Ceremony that brings you into a deeper relationship with the earth is an important part of the medicine wheel. Now, you've heard me talk about this stuff, but now I'm reading this. So it's your connectedness, your determination, you know, your gutsiness, and your commitment to honoring the wheel if you're going to do it at all. So after you've learned about ceremony and the different individual aspects of the wheel, it is likely some of you will want to build a wheel so that you can experience its energy. So see, in this, they're saying don't even build a wheel, go through this book first. And I'm not so much like, I think you should build the basics, and with a working model, it's better for you to like learn and apply the knowledge that you learn through this book, right? So when you've explored these aspects of the medicine wheel, you'll be ready to experience how the wheel can teach you about your own life. Although you have a basic position upon the wheel determined by the time of your birth, you do not remain in that one position for your entire life. Everyone travels around the medicine wheel, experiencing life from as many of the positions as possible. This means it is likely that at various times you will act, think, and feel like a person born under one or all of the other 11 moon positions. Being able to discern your movement, to know which positions are influencing you, to discern your movement at any given time will help you to understand yourself and another layer of the wheel. Now, you've heard me talk about, that there are folks who, have different feelings and, different times of the year and energies from the universe. So for me, I've talked about before the doing um, um, your biorhythm chart. So there are people because and it's related to when you were born. So all these things start at the same moment, but they have different lengths. So one's going to be up here at the top of its cycle, monthly cycle. So there's a high point and a low point every month. Three different cycles: mental, physical, and spiritual, I think. But anyway, but to the point though, So if all three of these are on the high side in the month on the day that where you are, can affect how your energy is. So you say, well, what time of year is it? What time of the moon is it? What time for your own cycle in the month is it? So years ago, when I was feeling like I was going crazy, and I was, and I'm in mental health and I'm taking all these drugs and things to try to disconnect me from these things that I'm feeling. It disconnected me from the drum. It disconnected me from the universal music, if you will. And so when I quit taking all those things, naturally I started hearing them again. But by this time, I was more on my shaman path than I was just about interested in stuff, right? So, having had all of my senses blocked or dulled or literally wiped out in some cases, um, it took me years to get those medicines out of my body, the unnatural ones, right? So that the natural medicines would come back to me so that I could hear the drum. And, earlier today, I was like, and I wasn't even trying to be quiet. I was just sitting and I was like, doom, 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 doom. I said, whoa, somebody's drumming somewhere. And I could just feel it, hear it. And I was doing something else. So it wasn't like I was trying to hear it because once you get it, the drum will come to you. You won't have to meditate to hear it. Okay. So, but anyway, so there are minerals and plants and animals that combine with these things. So at the going back to this chart that you can't see, um, you know, if you're working on if if it's anywhere from December to March, you're in the north. If you're from March to June, like right now, the stones would be focusing on the east because of the time of year it is, right? So like for May 21st to June 20th is corn planting. The mineral is a moss agate. The plant is yarrow. The animal totem is deer. The color is white and green. Spirit keeper is waban. The complement is elk. And the elemental clan is butterfly. So for this period of time right now, looking to the east, these are the, corn planting, moss agate, yarrow, deer, white and green, wamba and elk and butterfly. That's those things that help us during this period of time. Okay. So depending on where you are and what you're studying, what totems you may have or have come to you, like the dragonfly that was outside the window the other day, the turtle for 3 days, and then pulling the turtle card, that still has me slightly freaked out. You should demonstrate it, Hawkeye, in a video. Yeah, but I can't do it. Um, and but demonstrate which is B. I'm by myself, and sometimes doing some of this stuff is difficult to videotape. Plus, I've got a bunch of video that I have not uploaded yet, so I'm bad about that. Um, okay, so here's another little part. Experiencing other positions on the medicine wheel is not strictly a matter of chance. It is possible for you to move purposefully to another person when you need to understand the life the life's lesson that that position in the wheel represents. Throughout the book, we encourage you to seek a certain stone if you are striving to balance yourself in a particular way. Now, those things change. That I might have a rock that feels good today, and tomorrow it might be something else. Energy changes, the energies around us are changing. Okay. Being near a particular medicine wheel stone, either physically or in your imagination, can help bring balance to different aspects of your being. So what I'm telling you right now is real important about your intent and your connection. And before you ever do the wheel, you should imagine this in your head. And I talked about this last time when I said that if you can't build a wheel, imagine it, or take small rocks and put it on a little board and put a little hot melt glue so they don't fall off, and so that you can see it and you can represent it, but it's in a small condensed space if you can't build one outside. And there are a lot of energy shifts right now going on all the time, having nothing particularly having anything to do with anything. It's just we're getting hit by a bunch of stuff. But anyway, oh, and by the way, I want to give myself a gold or silver star, maybe. There are folks who are talking about earth wobble, and that, oh, did you know that the earth is wobbling? Now, for those of you who've been with me for a while, I have been talking about earth wobble for a while. And Miss Pearl, she'd been talking about it, and other folks too. And I've told y'all, go outside and observe, right? So, doing the little Duggar detail before I started this video, went outside looking at the stars, and Scorpio is much higher in the sky tonight. Okay. Where yesterday, the other night, it was like in the trees down here in the south. So it ain't hard to do, but learn at least, right now, Scorpio is easy to see because the dog star's there. It's a different color, it's bright. And, what time is it? It's 1 o'clock, 1 a.m. ish. Eastern Daylight. So sometimes you have to wait. You may not be able to see Scorpio until later, so you might want to pick another constellation that is easy to see, or a star or something. But observe it from the same position. Just go to the same spot and look at it, so that you always have the same perspective, right? And it ain't hard to do, but some folks, it tickled me because a couple of years ago, they looked at me and they said, "You're effing crazy, Dave, Hawkeye, whoever you are. The Earth is not wobbling. It's no, no, no. It's crazy. It can't. It's too big. It's doing this." And the other going, that they never said I was right. And because of my simple observations. But they're like, "Man, the earth is wobbling," and this, and I looked at him and I was like, "Didn't I tell you that like 5 years ago?" No. Oh wait, maybe you did. So when they bring this new information to me, "Oh, the earth is wobbling." Like, have you seen my previous videos that say earth wobble, moon update? Anyway. So I'm pleased to see that lots of other people are making these observations, and that it's out in the public versus I'm just some crazy old hippie down in the woods. But I feel vindicated, yay team. So, chapter 2 in this book of ours, and if you don't mind, it's been almost an hour, and I came like right out of hey Katniss, right out of Robert's, uh, you know, and Milky Way uh, story legends and so forth. So haven't really had a break. So I would like to take this time to fill my pipe. To fill my pipe and just reflect for a minute, because this section, ceremonies and respect, just Think about that. So it could be just ceremonies, right? This next chapter is about ceremonies. It's ceremonies and respect, okay? Because honor and respect and all this, what sounds like gobbledygook to other folks is a really serious and very important part of all this. And as well, I don't really make matter. Well, but it does. Well, but I don't see where it does. No, because you're not even in tune. you're you're just discarding things before you even try them. Well, I don't think this is gonna work. This sounds stupid. How come a rock can represent? Well, and where's the magic in that? Although those same people would talk about runes and things and other kind of stuff, but rocks on the ground, not so much. So it's interesting that people will look for the magic of things. There's certain channels that talk about the magic of this and the power of that, but a medicine wheel. So what is the power that it's going to give you? Hey, Katniss, the power is understanding. The power is your connection to the universe and all other things, all relations, which includes plants and minerals, the air, the sky, the moon, the sun, your connectedness to it and how we are all a part of the all, right? So there are folks who just, they go, yeah, okay. But then when you do a ceremony in such a way that it literally just makes you shudder from the tips of your toesies to the tips of your nosies. And you go, oh my gosh, what was that? And your awareness just jumped. And you can hear the drum without trying to. When you can, like, feel the mood of a plant or something. I mean, it's just when that leap comes and you're in another level of awareness. And what describes it? You'll know, and you go, oh my God, I can like hear that plant over there crying because I haven't watered it in a week. Oh my God. I mean, there are just stuff that will literally, you'll think you're going flipping crazy. So, but if you're studying it, like the turtle thing, you know. I noticed the other day when I saw that turtle way over there by the other pile, I was like, man, these little buggers can get around quick. They ain't so slow, but they are plotting and they are determined. And oh my God, he covered 20 feet in like less than a minute. He was like hauling butt across the yard. So, but anyway, and then to pull the card. So, well, what's that all about? Synchronicities, the medicine wheel folks and stuff going, hey, Hawkeye, we ain't forgot you. And that little dream you had this morning of turtle, here's the card. Here's your card. So when you start be- not believing it, actually, in a way, it is believing it. Because there are some people who say, oh, yeah, I know that this exists, but they have not really experienced it. So they have this inclination in their head, like I did about stuff. And when my angel buddy said, hey, do you believe 100%? And I was like, well, yeah, I bet, and I think I do. And they were like, you ain't believing, right? So what about this? You ain't paying attention. So every question that they asked me about, are you with us 100%? I was like, yeah. And then it dawned on me that, well, almost. So you've heard me talk about this. It's got to be 100.1%. It can't be 99 and three quarters. Nah, it has got to be complete. So, but if you're just like me, and they kept saying, no, you ain't. And I was like, yeah, I get this. I've been studying this for years. I got this. I know what I'm talking about. And no, they were right. I did not. So in all of this ceremonies and respect, you have got to be so brutally honest with yourself. And it ain't about kicking out old thoughts or stuff, but it does. Do you really believe this? Is your heart honestly 100% with this? Or if you just, if you're out there trying to do something and your heart really ain't in it, then maybe you shouldn't. But now there are times when the heart needs to go to the wheel because it needs fixing. The heart, the soul needs to be reharmonized and brought, brought whole again. But then there are times when, there's this feeling like you don't need to go near the wheel. Well, but maybe you need to just give it a day and then go or something, or even an hour, or just go calm down. Well, I'm going to go do the medicine. So if you don't know about your own feelings and what that may or may not do, so well, I want this because I built the wheel and I know what it is and I know what I'm talking about, but you haven't really used it. You built it and so forth. Now, you may think that what I'm talking about is just a bunch of malarkey. It isn't, because that's how serious this medicine wheel is. So you're setting up something upon the earth, north, south, east, and west. So it's situated, with the cardinal points. And now you're going to lay the stones down, and the stones represent sun, moon, grandfather, grandmother, and elements and things. So you're placing these stones with the greatest of intent and respect, because this is chapter 2. Okay? Please don't misunderstand me. These things that they're talking about and your intent and the ceremonies, if you don't understand it right now, at least, like I said earlier on an hour ago, are we coming up on a 20? I think so. That gives me a reason to like this. I hope I'm not overthinking instead of doing though. Yeah, sometimes, Barry, I get caught up on the same thing. We can't overthink it either, because then, then it was like, for example, when I was setting something up years ago. Well, I don't know if this stone's right. Well, I think it's the right one, and I was overthinking it. When sometimes you're choosing a rock and you go, and you walk over. Now I got a bunch of rocks out here in the yard. And now I brought them here from North Georgia and other places, and Tennessee and the Carolinas, and I brought rocks from all over. So, because they don't really normally appear down here in the South, a lot of clay and sand and mud, but no rocks per se. So, but anyway, I brought these stones here. I didn't know about. I used them for landscaping and not necessarily with the intent of building a medicine wheel until later. And then when I was in the mountains or whatever, I brought rocks home with the intent that maybe this rock could be a part of a medicine wheel. Okay, so it morphed over the years of me bringing rocks home. But so sometimes now, and wow, I'd really like to have this rock, and I can't do that. And I'm really my landscaping brain wants to go there when that ain't really what I should be doing. I should be like, I like this rock. Good. Where's it going? I don't know, but it's going to be part of the wheel. Well, I want a center stone. I wanted this. Well, let's like out of these 30 rocks or 50 rocks in my yard, let's pick out like 10, okay, or whatever, to get the thing started. And then I can fill it in. But again, Barry, I agree with you. I was overthinking the thing, and I was like, I just need to back up from this choosing rock thing altogether for the present, because I'm redoing this rock garden thing out in my front yard. So I'm like, before I finish this, maybe I should choose a few of these rocks for my medicine wheel. And today, in walking around the property, I think I found a spot up here that I like. I mean, I got one down in the woods, but it floods and and it's sticky and it's this and it's that that's inconvenient and other stuff. And it's way down in the woods. Skeeters and this and, but there's a place up here on the hill that I'm going to have to cut one of these bushes down that's, you know, but there's nothing growing under this tree. And the tree's a wax myrtle and has no real value. And it really needs to get cut down anyway. So if I cut it down, there's perfect spot that there's nothing growing because it's shaded even the grass ain't really growing. So I'm like, this would be a perfect spot. And it's hidden, but it's close and it's the elevation and it's fairly level on the hill. And so I'm like, I think I got me a spot. So now I can start moving some of these rocks and quit, you know, well, I can't choose rocks because I don't know where I'm going to put them. I don't want them to be in the way, but I want it to be this. I'm making up all these excuses in my own head as to why I've started them and haven't finished them or whatever. So don't overthink it. That is true. But at the same time, it needs your full respect. I know I'm late, but here's a 20. Ooh wee, that was a good one. Hey, Michelle. Um, Ceremonies and respect, chapter 2. Now it took me an hour to revamp and go through, and I'm not sorry about that because what I just kind of reviewed is really important. So Wabus is buffalo, spirit keeper of the north. So I wish I could show the pictures better and so forth, but that's a pretty good rendition right there of the buffalo right there. So if you live life in a harmonious way, always respecting the sacred circle, not the medicine wheel, but the sacred circle, and all other beings in it, every step you take can be a ceremony that celebrates your connection with the Creator. There were stories that, in the early spring when the grass is first blooming and so forth, that in respect of spring, you would take your moccasins off because in reverence, you would not want to put anything between you and the Creator or you and Mother Earth, and so that in honor, you would take your moccasins off in the spring when the grass is first coming to life. That's the sacredness of it, that you should only walk with your feet and not with your moccasins. If you live in this way, you realize you, like the medicine wheel, are a tool of life guided by the Creator that is within you and around you. They want me to repeat this. If you live in this harmonious way, you realize, like the medicine wheel, that you are a tool of life guided by the Creator that is within you and all around you. So I would agree with that personally. But there are some folks who would, I ain't being guided by the Creator. Well, that's because you ain't listening, And so many people, um, most people must learn this way of life because so much of what they have been taught has separated them from the sacredness that surrounds them. Absolutely. You live in a high rise apartment, you ain't touching the earth a lot. Uh, the medicine wheel can be an important teacher of this new life's view, and it will if you use it correctly. Um, Throughout this book, there are exercises and ceremonies to help you find your connection with the Creator and of all of Earth's children. For these to be as helpful as possible, you must approach them with respect. Okay? Now, you've heard me yapping and everything. Here's the book, and these are the steps. And there are rules to this that if you're just half-ass do this, you're going to get a half-ass response. So, and you shouldn't. And if you're serious about setting things like this up, that's why they're saying, um, for these to be as helpful as possible, you must approach them with respect. Sometimes people new to ceremony and to the circle of life feel unsure about how to show their respect. Earth ceremonies seem alien to them. They want to participate fully, but they don't know how to begin. I fully understand that. When I was started doing ceremonies, I was like, man, and then the voice came through that said, like Barry said just a few minutes ago, don't overthink it. You know, don't overthink it. The most important thing to remember about ceremony is that it is a way for humans to give back to the creation some of the energy that they are always receiving. So if I light a candle, I burn some sage. If I can't play the drum, then maybe I play some drum music or, a tape or a CD or something, right? Um, and that you give honor to the four directions and the up and the down and the in, and so to the seven directions, not just four. And that you start to pay attention to things, and that whether you understand all things in the universe, you start repeating to yourself and understanding that I respect all things in life as part of your prayer. And Creator, help me to learn how to accept new experiences in life and how to respect those as well. And you just put it out there, and little by littles, and sometimes in great big crunches, you'll get all kinds of information. So sometimes, or let's see, the most important thing to remember about ceremony is that it is a way for humans to give back to the creation of some of the energy that they have been given by Mother Earth. So this is a way to say thank you. Okay. Now, continuing on, chapter 2. So the placement of the stones and everything relates to something. So now we are into the being respectful. Father Sun warms us, and Grandmother Moon brings us dreams. The element of earth gives us a place to grow food and the ability to make homes and tools. The water keeps us alive. The fire warms our homes and cooks our food. These are all the elements, right? The air gives us the sacred breath of life. Each part of the medicine wheel, each part of life is constantly giving gifts to us humans. Now, when you like see it, hear it, but then, and you like really feel it, believe it, you can say, yeah, I understand that. I believe it. But then when you feel it, believe it, that's, um, through ceremonies, we learn how to give back. When we sing, we give energy through our voices. When we drum, we allow the earth's heartbeat to join with our own. When we dance, we bring the energy of earth and sky together in our bodies and give it out. When we pray, we give energy through our hearts. When we look upon our relations, we give blessings through our eyes. When we put all these activities together, we have a ceremony. One of the most powerful forms of gift giving we humans possess. Ancient peoples knew the importance of ceremony. Throughout the year, they would celebrate different parts of the earth through this vehicle, the vehicle meaning ceremony. They would have seasonal ceremonies, deer dances, strawberry festivals, corn festivals, bear dances, full moon ceremonies, and Thanksgiving celebrations. These were not arbitrary events. Rather, They were well-planned ways of keeping the balance of the sacred circle. Now, we would listen to those folks who go, oh my God, you're like them pagans who are doing ceremonies on a particular day or a full moon or something. Well, but they may not have the same intent, okay? So somebody that's proclaiming to be a warlock or something who's doing a ceremony on a full moon has a much different intent than those folks doing a ceremony full moon. This next one coming up has got a name, but so the native folks would have a totally different reason for dancing, drumming, and ceremonies on a particular full moon, where other folks they use them for energy, but maybe we could say for, you know, naughty purposes. So with native folks, it is to give honor back to the earth and to the universe. I've already been approached, spirits and through forms that are guarding, protecting. Good, Isby. No, you don't make it with cornmeal. No. You use cornmeal as your offering, like you would offer tobacco, because maize is a sacred herb, corn, then it is given as a gift. But you don't make a medicine wheel with cornmeal. No, and you shouldn't. Okay. In a way, it would almost be disrespectful. You can research it, Isby, but don't do it. All right. Cornmeal is the offering. Substitutes for what? Your medicine wheels is made with stones, with rocks, not with cornmeal or any other substance. It's made with rocks and minerals, okay? Specifically because of what they represent. If the offerings, if you go to the Creator Stone, then you would take a little pinch of cornmeal and maybe some tobacco and place it on or around the stone that you wish to do ceremony. So, there's the center rock. What about them, Isby? What about crystals? If you want to use a crystal in as one of the rocks, okay, but I would suggest not to. Now you could take a crystal to the medicine wheel and use it in a ceremony, but I'm not necessarily, using crystals for the medicine wheel itself. Maybe. But the cornmeal and tobacco are gifts, okay? They're not construction elements, all right? Keep that in mind. They're gifts. Um, but anyway, and a crystal to help you energize a particular thought, like if, for example, um, if you're right now, it's the May to June time, and let's see, where is my little thingy? May to June, corn planting is the element. So if you have a moss agate stone, okay, that you would bring it with you or wear it with you or having it in your medicine bag or in your pocket or that you have it when you do a ceremony, because this time of year moss agate is that particular mineral. The plant is yarrow if you could find it, but if you don't, then you could use a substitution, but to the point. And it's totem is deer. So then, you could reflect on the deer card, for example, that is innocence. The color, let's see, where is deer? I lost it. Is white and green. So you could tie two pieces of cloth together, white and green, and that's the color for this, this moon time, okay? And the soul keeper is Wabon, and the complement, like it's like an associate totem, is elk, and the elemental clan for this time of year is the butterfly. So, and June 21st, it's going to be the strong sun moon. In July to August, it's going to be the ripe berries moon. In August, September, almost up to my birthday, it's going to be the harvest moon, which we all know. September, October, ducks fly moon. October, November is the freeze up moon. November to December is the long snows moon. So every moon has its own name, right? And for every moon, there are these different plants and animals and things that associate with that moon. And so you would look at this particular thing and what time of year it is, and to give the proper respect in a ceremony, you would try to have as many of these things as possible in your ceremony. You might bring them, you might have them in a medicine bag, or have something that represents it, because these are the things that through all these years, this is the time of the year, and these are the things associated with it. So, like August 23rd to September 22nd, the mineral is amethyst. Now, because I was born on the 24th, I really like amethyst, but it's not really my stone. Jasper is. Oh my God, look at this. September 23rd, which my birthday's on the 24th, ain't this weird? You know what the plant is? Mullen. It's growing in my yard this year. Oh my God. I've been obsessed with mullen for the last several years now. And oh my God, it's the plant for this, for, during my birthday season. Holy crap. Anyway, raven is the totem. The color is brown. And guess what? The bird, um, it's the red hawk. Holy crap. So I'm Hawkeye Two Feathers. I, I, I think I've read this before, but oh my God, Mullen and Red Hawk as part of the time of year and the moon. Holy crap! See, you're always learning something. But so each one of these each one of these stones represent a position, and also, but where they also represent these other things, like the fill-in stones between the set stones. Stone number 25 is cleansing. The position is outer north. The mineral is sodalite. The plant is echinacea. The animal is raccoon, and the color is pale green. Now, stone number 26, right next to it, is renewal. So we've got cleansing, stone 25. Stone 26 is renewal. Stone 27 is purity. Stone number 28 is clarity. So with these stones in between, north, east, south, west, those stones in there are the ones we're numbering here. So each one of these, oh my God, number 27, purity, inner north, and Herkimer diamond. I was talking about crystals in my yesterday's video, and I talked about Herkimer diamonds, and it's right in here. And the plant is a trillium, of the animal is dolphin, and the color is translucent white. So for every one of these stones in between the big stones, they all have a purpose too. So I don't have a way at the moment. I do have a copy machine thing upstairs, but it hasn't been plugged into anything in years. And so I don't know if I have drivers or whatever. But if someone has the book, because if you've got these two charts, that's on 2 pages, there you could follow along without necessarily having the whole book, but you know, if you can, buy the book, okay? Because then you've got all these other, then you've got all the exercises in it as well. But my discussion on this is like, how important is it to give respect? If you want respect out of the wheel, if you want respect from the universe, if you want, then you got to give it, and you got to be 100.1%. You can't just slough on this. Now, your energies may be low on a day, but you still want to work on something. If your intent is pure, just don't put any negative or poor energy into what you're doing. Okay. Might be raining outside and you got a little sniffle and but you want to read on it. You want to study on things. You want to meditate on a stone or something like that. Go ahead. But if you're just like, well, I promised I was going to finish this damn stone, this wheel, and blah, blah, nah. So as you go, though, hopefully you will understand the importance of this intent and the energy that you put with it for each stone that you put down and what it represents. So before if you get your first few stones for the center and around it, and you got them, then you might want to hold each stone and just meditate with that stone. If it's a big stone, then you might want to just sit next to it and put his hands on it. Um, um, that's a way that you can connect with the stones would be to sit with this is going to be the creator stone. Okay. So then you use the book and the idea of what that stone means and just close your eyes and just kind of let it go. That's going to be, this is the creator stone, and it represents the source of all things, and coming to and coming from and coming back to and the source, and, just kind of let it go. And don't like just stop on one thing and let it go. No, because the creator stone represents so many different things and levels and stuff. So your brain should actually kind of flip flop through these different things as sort of like, flashcards in a way. And that you go, oh, that's interesting. Yeah, creator represents this, and oh, creator represents that. And oh, it ain't about religion or this or that. And you do, oh, but this is what creator represents and all these different things. And then, ooh, wow. So, and this is the creator stone. So then the next one, number two is the moonstone or whatever. So then you think about that. And the different things, the moonstone, mother moon, father, grandfather moon, or whatever it is, blah, blah, blah. And so that, you just kind of let your mind, flip through the different things that it would represent. And maybe you don't know about that stone, so you research it first. And then when you pick up the stone, because that's the stone you want to use for that position on the wheel, so you know its association. So you yourself are putting your life's energy into it. You're using the knowledge of the universe and for like from the book or other sources, what does the creator stone or what does who's the turtle clan? What does the phoenix mean? So you check on these different things before you meditate on them with the stone. So you've got the backup information. So when you got the stone and you're just sitting and it ain't nothing special. You're just like, howdy, Stone, how you doing? I want to use you as the Turtle Clan Stone. And are you okay with it? And, you're just sitting there kind of happy, hey, very sacred. It's a cross and a circle. So respect. Yes, that too. There's so many different aspects to it. Exactly. But with that though, it's a circle within a circle. It's a wheel on with spokes that everything's connected. I mean, it's a cross within a circle also, but so but as you meditate with the stone, you do your research about, okay, so what does the phoenix mean? What does fire? What is the representation of fire? Cleansing, this, rebirth. And you look at it from different points of view, right? Because you don't want to just say, well, it's just fire. Yeah, but okay, but there's more to it. Well, but Phoenix is fire, and you just stop there. Eh, because it's more than that. So you need to allow yourself to expand on it by at least reading Wikipedia or something, and then allowing the universe to kind of fill in the blanks. But if you just say, well, it's just fire. Well, in your mind's eye, with your eyes closed, you may think before you do it, fire means this yellow flame. But that maybe when you actually have the meditation, it turns out to be a blue flame, like a plasma ball or something. And so you go, wait a minute, I was thinking flame is yellow or orange or something, but holy crap, the flame is a different color. So, and wait a minute, there there's flames or fire, but there are different colors of it. Even if you watch a campfire, there are different colors within the fire. So it's not just orange or yellow or there's multicolors within the spectrum of a fire when it's burning. And different colors within the fire represents different elements. I've talked about this before. They want to find out certain contents of minerals or metals within a block of metal. And engineers will do a spark test. And certain metals and whatever will have different colored sparks when you grind a little bit of the metal off with a grinder, right? And you go, ooh, it's really yellow, or it's really blue, or there's green in there. All those colors represent a metal or a mineral. So Phoenix and fire just ain't this yellow flame out of a dragon kind of thing. It's more than that, because fire represents all these different colors and all these different elements and things so it ain't just fire, you know. So, but if your meditation is just like on a candle or a campfire, and that's it, and your brain won't allow yourself to go any further because in your 3D dragonfly, in the illusion that it must represent, because I saw a picture of it one time in a book, that it's a yellow flame when maybe it ain't. Maybe it's a purple flame or a blue or a green or a combination of therein. So you go into the meditation of the rock, not so much the position, because its position is already set. You don't have to meditate about where it's going to go unless you want a rock to be a particular stone in a particular position. So that's the point of having a conversation with the rock ahead of time. And also to allow your own brain to see what the turtle clan means, to see what the phoenix means, to understand more about water and what it represents in and the frog clan and so just fill yourself with information, but during the meditation with your eyes closed, you don't focus on any of those things. You focus on nothing, but allow all the things to be a part of it, because your brain and the universe will show you little pictures in your tiny little brain that's actually humongous on the inside. That it's like, ooh, red, green, blue, purple, holy crap. And so you don't go into the meditation with the flames yellow. You go into the meditation with, show me what the phoenix represents. It represents fire, but show me what it represents. What colors do you don't go in and going, well, phoenix is yellow and I'm going to meditate. No, you see the difference? So, but for every stone, for every position, now the position in the beginning, as you're placing the stones, not so much an issue, okay? But you just want to make connection with the rock. This is going to be the moonstone. This is going to be the earthstone. This is going to be the this stone, and its position is already, because you've chosen it. You already know where its position is going to be. It's going to be the east, the west, the north, the south, and it's going to be in this quadrant. It's already set, so you don't have to think about that part, because you're choosing it for that section. And if the rock don't like it, it'll tell you not there. But you may not want to throw it out of the circle entirely. It may go, instead of the northeast, it might go in the southeast. East might be the position this rock wants to be in, but it might be the southeast, not the north. So, you know, learning all of these things helps you to build up your connection to the earth, to the elements. And conversely, all maybe not conversely, but consequently or connected to, you will learn about elementals as well. It'll kind of come to you because, it'll just be there. So, but anyway, going on with chapter 2, which is about, again, respect and with the ceremony. So, um, when you have experienced enough of the medicine wheel to truly understand your power for healing, you're ready to go to the second section of Dancing with the Wheel. And in this section, we turn our attention to each of the kingdoms with which we share with the earth. Because so many of us live in environments where we spend most of our time with people, we need to familiarize ourselves with the representatives of the mineral, plant, animal, and colorings. Crap. Oh, and color beings honored as part of the medicine wheel. From knowledge about these beings for all of our relations on the earth, and learn how to heal and be healed by those other children of the earth. The mineral wheel, the plant wheel, the animal wheel, and the color wheel are all critical layers of the medicine wheel. See, so many different layers in here. Um, to make the healing energies of the wheel readily accessible, um, use the quick reference charts like I was discussing for the minerals, the plants, and the animals, um, so that you know, like, which moon, you should, like, I think it's right now, the white and green, right, are the colors. And, so you use the chart to know which colors are most beneficial for this time of the year and for the ceremonies. Um, Most chapters of this particular book contain exercises to help you your understanding of the wheel and to surpass the intellectual, which means you're going to go into the spiritual. Although a mental knowing will increase your ability to dance with the wheel, okay? Although a mental knowing, so that means you learn about the phoenix, you learn about, a particular plant, you learn about times of the moon, right? You familiarize, because we as white people have not been taught by our elders about the wheel. Okay. So we have to learn this ourselves. We have to seek out the information if we're really important about this. So if you don't have the book, though, but you do have the chart, you can still meditate on these things. You can still do your homework, because knowledge, as they're saying here, helps you with understanding, and will help you to dance with the wheel correctly. Um, Dancing the Wheel is a comprehensive guide to the medicine wheel and to ways in which you can personally help to create a beautiful, balanced world. You will gain the most benefit from this book if you need it, if you read it in its entirety, um, in order in which they appear. Remember, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But anyway, so ceremonies and respect, of course. If you are working with a teacher, ask them what occurred. If you are working on your own, contemplate any experience you have with the wheel. Um, Ceremony is a wonderful teacher of patience. In some ceremonies, you might find yourself standing or sitting for hours with drumming or chanting. At first, you will probably become restless or impatient, hoping that the ceremonial leader will get on with it all. But if you allow yourself to relax into the music or the movement or listening to the drum, you might find that this is very repetitive, that in its very repetitiveness, it'll carry you into a sacred place. Now, I've talked about, when I pulled the card, I think it's the grouse, where it has to do with spinning and the dancing and the whirling dervishes and how important, going in one direction and then dancing in the other, and how going into these dances and into the center of the circles that you will be transcended. I can attest to that. It's really crazy. So when you're doing ceremonies, keep reminding yourself that you are not the one bringing healing or help. You are the tool of the Creator who is sending health and help through you to some of your relations on the earth. Remembering this will give you the proper perspective for any ceremonies you might do. So you are the tool. You're asking, if it's given, it comes through you and it goes out. Okay. So, like most events in life, ceremony has a beginning, a middle, and an end. However, the end is the beginning of the next ceremony. The circle continues just as it does with all things. Most ceremonies begin with some form of cleansing. Smudging is the form most often used in earth ceremonies and is often used in ceremonies of other religions, from the incensing of the Orient to the frankincensing of the Catholic Church. I was the incense altar boy. I loved it. They hated me for it, but I would fill that church with so much incense smoke. Smoke is an etheric substance that penetrates between the realms of creation, from the dense to the more subtle. In other words, you can see the incense, you can see the sage, but when it burns and it turns into smoke, and then there's the fragrance and everything. So it cuts between realms. It was just tobacco, but when you burn it, now it transforms. It has become spiritual in a way. The herbs most often used for smudging are the plants of the spirit keepers: sweetgrass of the north, tobacco of the east, sagebrush of the south, and cedar of the west. So there were things that I've talked about before, but in some of the old stories, when the animals and everybody was arguing and Creator stepped in, the animals were like, the bears and folks, they were like, hey, give us some more winter. We need some more winter. And the other animals were like, no, 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 we got too much winter already. If there's too much winter, us songbirds, there's no seeds, there's no food. You bears and other animals that are hibernating, you don't care. But there are those of us who don't hibernate. So anyway, between it, Creator, uh, you know, when winter comes, all the trees lose their leaves. And that was, you know, to settle an argument. And look, but Creator said, listen, but even in wintertime, there are sacred trees that are still green. So pine trees and certain other trees, right, that are green all year round, those are sacred trees. All right. So if you can't get sage, but you've got some green pine needles, if you're down here in the South and can't find nothing else, but you know, there are other types of fir trees. And the one I got over here that is coming up all, so you can take those. And, you know, if you don't have sage, so anyway, so for the north, sweetgrass. So, you know, I've got some sweetgrass and, you know, depending on where you're from or whatever. So, you know, if you don't get sagebrush in Minnesota, you know, well, I don't get it down here. We've tried to grow it in other areas and it just grows out west. And when I was out west, it grows everywhere and you can smell it in the air. I was like, oh my God, what's that smell? And people are going, what smell? Well, I just come from, you know, you know, Kansas City, Missouri, and to Dakota and woke up with this smell going, what the hell? And well, there is no smell. Yeah, there is. It's the natural smell of the sage just there on the prairies. It's just everywhere. And I was very surprised. So, but so the to the north, it's sweetgrass, tobacco of the east, sagebrush of the south, and cedar of the west. So these things are sacred, um, you know, sacred trees, plants that Creator designated. Why? Because he said, you know, in the wintertime, you know, the other trees will lose their leaves and this and that and the other thing. And the animals cried, but what if we need medicines or things? And the Creator said, I got you covered. Just look for the green trees during the wintertime. So the smudging ceremony, depending on where you are, what time of year it is, and your access to some of these herbs. So basically, you light it. You want to bring the smudge up to yourself. So you want to cover yourself over your head. So it's like you're washing yourself. So we've got sage and wash it this way. And I always give north, south, east, and west with the sage as I'm smudging myself. And so do it and you just basically wash yourself with the smoke and pull it up over here. Why a domestic bird feather is used? You only have chickens. You'll find another feather. But so anyway, that's chapter 2. And it took 2 hours to do this. But we did review chapter 1 and the importance of respect. And, you know, before you ever learn the ceremony, you know, need to learn this respect. But so, in understanding the wheel and the rocks and so forth, as you get what rock, what mineral, study about the mineral. If it's amethyst, or if it's jasper, or if it's this, or the one for my around my birthday. You know, I'm partial to amethyst, but I'm 2 days. I was born 2 days later, which is out of that cycle. So I can see why born on the cusp, there's that you know, Virgo Libra thing, you know, and Virgos and Libras do not get along. And so, you know, I've been arguing with myself for years. And thank God they have, you know, kissed and made up. But for so if jade or a particular plant like yarrow is this there, you know, yarrow does have its medicinal things. So you know, study about it. So it's learning, so that when you do have um, meditation and you do have dreams or visions or whatever, and a particular plant comes to mind, you go, "Oh crap, that's yarrow, or that's a rose, that's a primrose, or you know something." You see something blooming and you can identify it to a plant. Well, then from that dream or meditation or whatever vision, then you would go check that plant out or that flower or whatever and see what it means, because that's how you learn. So anyway, my dear friends, um, hey Donna Love, new pine needles make an excellent tea. Absolutely. Never boiled water or make turpentine. Oh, but turpentine is good for you, Donna. Turpentine is really good for you. The old timers down here, I don't know where you're from, but down here where I'm from, I mean, and I have done this myself. That just go, you know, a pine tree's bleeding and there's sap coming down. That's basically turpentine. And so, because you take them chunks and put it in water and boil it off, and that, but anyway, but you can literally take a piece of that pine tar and just chunk it in your mouth. Now it's you know, it gets used to, but the thing is that that little bit of turpentine that you get or swallow or whatever, um, the old timers, my first father-in-law, he took a little teaspoonful of turpentine out of a bottle, but it was from the pharmacy, and but he took a little, you know, a little squirt, you know, once or twice a week, and he lived to be in his 90s. Now he was blind and crippled and crazy, but he was still alive. So bodily functions and so forth, you know, people say, well, that turpentine will kill you. Well, no, don't go to the hardware store. But you can just go to a pine tree and take some off and chew on a little piece of that um, pine tar and just swallow it. Oh, it's a little tasty and it's strong. Yeah, but okay. But it ain't going to kill you. Otherwise, I'd be dead. And the thing about pine needle tea is you just heat it, you do not boil it. Okay. And that's where a lot of folks, I made the mistake for a lot of years. We boil the water. No, you don't. You heat the water. And if you see little bubbles on the bottom of your thing and but it's too hot to put your pinky in, you're probably okay. But you just steep the pine needles in it. Yeah, moderation in all things. All right, y'all. I have to go take care of business, literally. And so I love you all. I continue to pray, honestly, that each and every day, that each and every one of you will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings in the universe and from the universe. And me and Duggar, every time we go outside and look at the sky or take a walk, we always praying for y'all. And we continue to pray that each and every one will continue to learn how to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many, 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 many blessings in the universe. In that law of three, and I'm kind of hurrying for you and me because I won't finish that. But I do continue to pray that each and every day, that each and every one of you, your friends, all of your relations, which means animals, vegetables, minerals, air, water, fire, sky, all of your relations will continue to learn to accept and receive the knowledge, the healing, the wisdom, and the many blessings in the universe. So this is Tuesday night, Wednesday morning. Please have a good rest of the week. Isby, stay safe. Donna Lowe, thank you very much for being. Yep, self love heals us too. But don't be egotistical about it because we all need help from the rest of the universe. Barry, thank you much. Um, I don't know who else is here. You don't have to raise your hands. It's okay. I love you. Be safe. And until next time, keep it between the ditches. Bob, we want to say thank you for keeping our line pretty good this evening. I didn't see much lagging. Um, yeah, right. No ego, real soul. Absolutely, Donna. There are some people who swear that they've got the power of God in them and they can heal and manifest, and they're very ego driven, oriented kind of thing. And I still pray for these folks because they got way too much ego in some of this. But anyway, y'all continue to keep the chaos out of your lives. And if something gets your panties in the water right away, take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Unclench them cheekbones, you know, and get them drawers out of your crack. You know, the monkeypox, the this thing, the that thing, what we've discussed in this video and some others. Don't let them scare you to death. Okay. Just please stay out of the fear. And I love you all. I do. And I know y'all love me because you come here and hang out. That should make them humble. Flows through spirit. Yeah. Thank you, Donna. And thank you, everybody. For those, I know there are folks who stay in the background. It's okay. We love you. You don't have to participate. The fact that you show up and are in the background is fine with me, So, um, but remember, to keep up in this life, we should always remember that life is adapting to the next day. Life is adapting and learning always. And in this particular lifestyle of time in history, we're in a really strange spot. And people are cussing that they wish they weren't a part of it. And I'm kind of like, well, I'm here now. Let's see how this turns out. So, have courage, my friends. We're all in this together, one way or the other. There are so many messages through the book, the ceremony, and some of the cards that I pulled recently, and they all say we are not alone in this. We are all connected. So have faith in that. Oh, and believe, 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 believe. Michelle, if you're in the background, I love you. Hope you're still getting better. And so until the next time, I love you. Cheers. And chapter 3 coming up the next time I do chat. I do this. So have faith, y'all. Bye.